This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search from my site. We'll be reading a letter from Ignatius. My high school is St. Ignatius. I'm a graduate of St. Ignatius, Cleveland, Ohio. It's a college prep school. And this email was today triggered by the news of grand jury investigation of, I don't know much about the details, but it's headline news recently, and this has been triggered by the Pope and this El Jefe of St. Ignatius. Message from Raymond P. Guiao, SJ82. Dear parents, alumni, and friends, I'd like to add my voice of that Pope Francis. Our Bishop, Most Reverend Nelson Perez in the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, in expressing disappointment, sadness, and anger in the instances of abuse and cover-ups documented in the recent grand jury report from Pennsylvania. Yes, the report does cover 70 years of allegations involving church officials at every level. The cumulative reality is that our church has done grievous harm to far too many of her children. Beyond the Pennsylvania grand jury report, the resignation of Cardinal McCarrick, the allegation of abuse in Chile and Australia can certainly challenge our faith, and the Catholic tempt us to despair rather than fall to our temptations. However, I am urging our Ignatius community to focus on the care of our current and future students. I am highly confident in the training and safeguards we have in place at St. Ignatius to keep the young men in our care safe. We can never assume, however, that our work in this area is complete. We will continue to provide training, create systems, protect those in our charge. This focus does not mitigate the pain and loss caused by past sins. We must, as Pope Francis urged us, remain a community in penance and prayer. Only God's grace, abide by our own prayerful disposition, can overcome the suffering caused by abuse. I ask you to join me in prayer for healing for all those victims of abuse who have been hurt by priests, deacons, bishops, volunteers, and employees of the church, especially those among who have been personally affected by the pain of this situation. It should be our prayer all survivors of sexual abuse can find healing, comfort, strength in the loving presence of God. I ask that you pray for hope that our church and our St. Ignatius community can believe in and live out the gospel of Jesus Christ as the only antidote to evil of abuse. Yours ever in Christ, Reverend Raymond P. Guiao, SJ82, President, St. Ignatius High School. This has been Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search from my site. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, or restful night's sleep. Ciao.